Okay. Finally, perhaps. Finally, perhaps we are here.
Perhaps.
Welcome, Shara.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Back.
Welcome back.
Second try.
You get a second try after our two other sisters, Tatiana and Tasia, had an opportunity to come here
Mm-hmm.
to speak to me, your brother. Do you remember what this is about?
I do.
Yes?
Yes.
Have you watched the episodes that Tasia and Tatiana did?
No, you've been sent it.
Oh, I guess there's that.
So, no, I haven't watched them.
Okay. Well, this is about the non-vegan experience, and our other two sisters are certainly not vegan.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
The opposite spectrum.
The opposite side. But yourself, you are also not vegan.
Correct. I'm
But
also not a carnivore.
carnivore. You're not a carnivore. You're not a carnivore. So what are you?
I'm a vegetarian.
How long have you been a vegetarian?
Are we close to 2 years? I think we're close
Yeah.
to 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. Are you happy being a vegetarian?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No regrets.
No regrets. And so so Shara and I have already done a conversation, although we had audio issues. This was at the beginning of our podcasting adventure. Shara was the second person to test out a session with me. We did 2 hours and 17 minutes. Wasted. Gone.
Wasted.
Gone. I mean, we have it. It was gold. It was gold. We went really long, but it's gone because it was picking up my mic but not yours. So your audio didn't work. But we got a new replacement part and it's all working, and we've got new ones since then. So a lot of these questions will be some repeat.
Yeah.
But we're looking to talk about your experience with me as your brother, becoming vegan, subsequently your mother.
Yes.
And then kind of just the general experience overall and perception of vegans, vegetarians a bit too, within society and within our family life and social life and whatnot. So you've been vegetarian, and Shara, I guess maybe before, you are my third sister to be on this, although you were the first.
I was the first sister.
You were the first, but
now I'm the third.
Now you are the third, although you are not third in birth order.
Correct.
Oh wait,
well, no, you are third in birth.
You're our third in birth order.
Third in birth,
but you're not. You are my second sister, Tatiana, myself, Shara, you, and then Tasia.
Yes, you and I are the closest in age.
Yes, we are the closest in age. We are the closest in age. And who do you think, just from the three of you, the three of my sisters, who do you think? You said yes right away to coming and chatting with me. Who would you have thought would have been the most challenging to get to come and have a conversation with me, their brother Christian?
Honestly, the thing is, I actually think both sisters, the other two, would have been hard for different reasons.
Yeah.
Because I think Tasia is a little bit more, in a sense, obstinate about the topic. Like,
sure.
She's a little bit more, and then I think Tat, to some degree, more because of her, I don't know, her place in society, I guess, if you could call it that way.
It's
a bit weird a way to say it, but I don't know how else to say it. Like her career and her, you know, the political stuff and everything. I think it's a bit harder to do anything like this, I think, for her.
Right. Okay. Because of how involved she is with different things.
Yeah. Like, I just think that, like, you know, it's a bit of you'd be a little bit more worried about things you'd say versus
she did make me sign an agreement.
Okay.
So
the lawyer in her came out.
Yeah, she made me sign an agreement. We were sitting right here, and she said, "We can't start till you sign it." And so I'm supposed to get written permission to distribute it.
Okay.
I don't know if I've really gotten that as of yet. So I'm a bit shuffly right now. I feel.
Sorry, because I'm shuffly.
I don't know. I just feel not set in my seat. But yeah, so she made me sign off on it, which is fine, which is good, I guess, for her.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be public soon. As in, it's
in the works.
It's live right now.
Oh, it's live.
It's not live. I haven't distributed it, but it's unlisted, and a couple family members and friends I've shared it with to take a quick look at. So, yeah. So, were you surprised that either of them said yes then, or?
I don't think I was surprised that they did say yes. I just was expecting, I think, more hesitation almost, and a little bit more. I don't know.
I was expecting way more resistance.
Yeah.
I was expecting way more resistance, particularly from Tasia.
Well, Tasia's also a teacher, which I don't always consider, but like, because she
also has its own exposure
in the public eye. And
Yeah. Yeah.
the any students watching it or something like that too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, but of course, for these conversations, we're not going into crazy, crazy stuff.
No.
I
But I
mean,
would have assumed that you guys all would have thought I would be the one that was most resistant.
I would have thought so originally, just based on your character
Yes.
compared to the rest of us, but you are obviously the closest to me when it comes to as siblings, when it comes to this stuff,
Yeah.
being a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So I figured you might be more passionate about the subject matter at the very least.
Mm.
Maybe. Do you find you're passionate about the subject matter?
I think, like, I don't actually think I am very much. I think I could be. I think I choose not to be.
Elaborate on that.
I think I choose not to be because I'm a people pleaser. So I just don't really like to be, which is funny because I think in a lot of ways in my life I am. I tend to like to cause friction almost, but there are actually certain areas where I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
And so I choose not to do that.
Would you Right, and it's funny because I've spoken about you on this, to other people
Mm.
about being concerned about you having become vegetarian because I thought that it would be more difficult for you. Do you more
Because of
difficult for you compared to me?
because of the social part.
Yeah, well, because you say the people pleaser part, I think, like,
Yeah.
does that resonate with you, or is that like, an unfair characteristic? What do you think?
No, I think it does resonate with me. It's part of why I kinda like I said it myself, right? Like,
Yeah,
I think what I ended up doing instead because I've historically had other dietary stuff too, especially in the last, like, 5 years,
sure.
5, 6 years where I have been, I try to be gluten-free as much as I can, and I also try to be off dairy, and so I've, you know, having 3 things. So I was gluten-free and dairy-free before becoming a vegetarian,
Yeah,
and then adding vegetarianism to it became really hard, and I
yeah,
actually think what ended up happening is I just decided I'm gonna be really strict on vegetarian, and the other 2 are the places where I might be a little bit more
sure,
lax about it because I don't
sure.
wanna be that person going to a restaurant or going for dinner and being the one that's like, "Oh, I'm a problem." And
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
easier to be a problem just as a vegetarian than to be a problem as a vegetarian, gluten-free, dairy-free. Like, it's like that's so many things to
Well,
accommodate.
if you're gluten-free, dairy-free, might as well just bite the bullet and be egg-free, and then
Well, gluten-free doesn't really mix into that.
no, it
You're
doesn't.
definitely not gluten.
Wouldn't say definitely not. I mean, definitely not sounds like I'm eating bread every day, which
No,
I
but
truly don't. Yeah.
you do eat gluten, and gluten is it has historically been a big thing for vegans too. They eat gluten as a
Mm,
substitute for
yeah,
certain
like
things too.
seitan
Yeah.
yeah, vital wheat gluten, in a lot of products. You are right. Um, yeah, I mean, so just circling back though to whether or not you found it more challenging, have there ever been instances in your life where people have challenged you as a vegetarian?
No, not really. I would say
No,
not
eh?
really, no.
But would you say that was the case for me?
No, not at all. But
So
you are
why
someone who
is
can
that?
be challenged. It
But I'm curious because I am curious. So I look at people like Chris,
Mhm,
right, who also became vegetarian for 4 years,
mhm.
and I was nervous for him. I was nervous for you a bit too, but I was nervous for him because I thought he's not gonna be able to put up with it, like so why is it you think just because I'm a talker or something that people feel willing to challenge me?
Yeah, I think there's the people who know you and there's the vibe you give off even with others. And I think that there is an aspect that you come off you're very confident in the way you come off, in the way
Yes.
you
Come
are
across?
you come
Yeah.
across as being very confident, whether you are or not. That's between you and a therapist. But no, I'm
Well,
just
do
saying,
you well, you are my sister. Do you think I'm very confident?
I think sometimes it's a bit of a facade.
I think that everyone's confidence is a bit of a
Yeah.
facade
I
sometimes, for
do think
sure.
that you are a decently confident guy, but I don't think you're
Yeah,
necessarily as confident
yeah.
as you portray.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I am very confident person because I'm getting better at being wrong,
Mhm.
which makes me even more confident, not less confident.
Yeah.
And the no, I was gonna say the older, but it's not really the older, the more experience I get in work,
Mm.
the more I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm wrong." Immediately give up, immediately give in, and I'm just like, "Yep, you're right." And so I'm just like, "Okay, cool. I don't
Yeah.
need to be right." And then I'm more confident because I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm just like, "You're right," or
Yeah.
"You can be right and I can be wrong."
Yeah.
I'm gonna defend my position till I'm dead, until the moment that I'm wrong, and then I just back away
Yeah.
completely.
Unlike me, where I grew up, I was historically not
Little bit different,
a little bit different.
a little bit different,
Although I
a
would
little
say
different approach to,
I've become much better at that.
you have become much, much better.
It took me a
You
long time to get there, but I did get there.
well, it's I mean, life is long.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think actually you did pretty well considering you could have held that kind of stuff till 50,
it's true.
and
True
you're
that.
just 32. So,
Accurate.
not so bad.
Yeah. But all that to say, though, I do think that the vibe that I give
S
off is a little bit more on the insecure side.
Like a bit of an "F you, don't talk to me about my vegetarianism"?
Well, no, I think it's mixed. I think I do have a tendency to have a bit of a resting bitch face sometimes to people, but I
Yeah, I don't
also
think it's
think
that significant. I think you don't look that approachable about
no,
it. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
a super approachable person in the way that
But
I
it's funny
carry
because
myself and stuff.
but
So
that's so just on the flip side then, that's assuming that I am approachable,
you
which
are
I
approachable.
well, I'm approachable maybe, but the feedback I get from, like, a bunch of people is that I'm intimidating.
You are intimidating, but you also like there's a weird, I don't know. There's a vibe you give off that like you are intimidating, I think
Mm,
in very particular situations,
right.
but you also like immediately give off this friendly vibe.
Well, thank you. I try.
So people
I
like
also think it's real, actually.
it
Like,
is real. I
it
mean,
is.
even
I'm
through
just
high school, you were
yeah,
considered to be like the big teddy bear, like in the sense of the fact that like you were built like a freaking
bit more overweight than I
no
am
no no
today. Yeah, is that what you mean?
no no. It's saying like you were built like a football player.
I played football.
You did play football, but you
Yeah.
were built like a football player, but you were
Yeah.
like the friendliest, kindest guy who
Yeah.
was like you were just this big teddy bear and everyone loved you in school, right? Like
Yeah.
and so I think you do give off that vibe. And so I think but
Thank you.
aside from that, so people like they might feel more comfortable, but you also love debating. You
I
love it. You in a
love
sense
debating.
and this is gonna sometimes you're kind of asking for it in the way you
I
talk.
am asking for it
You
sometimes.
ask for it.
I am.
And that vibe is clear to me, I think sometimes. Whereas I do
Yeah.
kind of give off a bit more of a vibe of like, don't
Don't try me.
don't try me. Like and it's not that I'm gonna like
But you can hold your own too.
no, and it's not that's what I mean. It's not that I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't want to talk to me about it.
So what
It's more just that I'm like, I'm not gonna ask. Like
so
just
okay, so yesterday I was just telling you about the fact that I'm learning how to post new content, different
mhm,
content. So that there's this stuff, the podcast,
yeah.
which is like, kind of formal content, if you
Mhm.
will. And and then like the more casual stuff. And so yesterday I was reflecting on my answer when I'm asked, "Why are you vegan?" And the different answers I've given. I change it almost every time. Lately, I've been sticking with one or two. The one I was talking about yesterday was, "I'm just not that into killing,"
Mm.
which normally takes people. They're like, "Mm, okay,
I'm not
thanks."
that into
Yeah,
murder.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're like,
Well, I
right, expected, but also,
I'm also not into murder, right? Like that's their instinct is probably that
but that's the
defense
point of it, right?
mechanism. Yeah.
That's the point. I kind of want to like push them a little bit. I want to be like, "Oh, right, I'm just immediately drawing a
Yeah, yeah.
connection that if you were eating meat, you were killing something."
Yeah.
And so I'm not into killing, and that's why I'm vegan. It's actually just half the answer. Or it's not even half, it's like a tenth of the answer.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to kind of spark a little bit
Yeah.
of, well, either conversation or reflection. I want
Yeah.
someone in that room to leave and think, "Huh, yeah, not super cool," right? But I've changed my answer a bunch of times. I've given so many answers. Like, I'm just
Mhm.
like, "Oh, originally I was vegetarian for environmental reasons and did this and blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, and now I decided I'm vegan because I'm more about animal justice," and that's like the process.
Yeah.
That's not the reason,
Yeah.
right? And so before I give my piece about what I was thinking about yesterday, which I don't think you watched, even though I showed you the beginning of it, um, and you haven't watched it because I also haven't launched it. There's no one. There's only like a handful of people that have access. But when you watch, but I'll explain it here as well. What before that? What is your answer? So someone asks you. Let's say a stranger asks you, and then we'll talk about a family member or a friend.
Yeah.
A stranger asks you, "Why are you vegetarian?"
Hey, well, my answer though
Yeah.
would probably immediately prompt a vegan to be like, "Well, you should be a vegan," because of the way I'll answer. Because the way
Go
I
ahead.
answer
Go ahead and
is
answer, please.
I don't believe that animals were put on this earth to be killed and feed us, which is I know it's a vegan answer. Don't get me wrong. I'm
So
aware because if I
I
say I don't
said,
believe animals are all put in this earth to feed us, then I know that it goes to then the whole other industry,
well, of
eggs,
course you
dairy,
know.
all of
There's
it. It's like you have to add that kill part almost to be like, oh, but it's the meat product. But I know that they're killed for
it's
other products for other things too. I know that. I know that.
okay.
I'm aware of it.
Of course you're aware of it. I know you're aware. Well, I've said it on this very podcast
Yeah.
that you are close to becoming vegan. I've also said it about that. Yeah, you can roll your eyes.
No,
But
I'm not rolling my eyes.
but
I'm like, I'm just uncertain about it. I think and
but to your point, an answer like that
yeah,
is it's pushing past the piece of I don't eat meat,
hmm
right? And that was my point about vegetarians as I was, watching some other
Yeah.
stuff and editing stuff yesterday. I didn't really get it as a vegetarian. Years I spent as a
Mhm.
vegetarian, not really fully getting that piece, which you're answering. So,
Yeah.
okay, so there's that one answer. Let's take that, the piece you gave. What about to a stranger? Would you say this oh, sorry, not a stranger, a family member, I mean. What would you say to a family member or a friend who didn't know, right? And they're like, "Hey," let's say our aunt or
No,
uncle
I
or a
would probably
cousin.
give the same answer.
Same answer?
Yeah.
Same
I
answer?
think my answer that is my answer.
That's your answer. You
That is
don't
my
believe
real
they've been
answer.
put on this earth
For to be killed and for us to consume them. I don't believe that that's what they were here for. I think that that's an unfair.
characterization of
Yeah.
what, or expectation of
Yeah.
interesting, okay, and so great answer, first of all. My short answer to people in passing, I think now is everyone deserves the right to their own life. Like everyone, not just people.
Yeah.
And,
Problem is when you say everyone, people assume only people.
yeah, but they know that
A
I'm
bit of a
vegan, so
yeah,
well, how would you change it then to say,
all beings, I guess I would say.
yeah, all
I know
beings,
it's not like it's a weird
yeah,
technicality. I
kinda
think it's
no,
just
no,
like when you
no,
say
no.
everyone, I think it's automatically
I
assumed it's people,
I
but
I think I think though that's why I say, like, everyone deserves the right to their own life.
mm,
Everyone, like,
yeah,
everyone,
including
not
yeah,
just human beings, not just
mhm,
cats or dogs,
yeah,
not just like, easily you can rally people behind their dog having a right to their
yeah,
own life. To their life, just to their life.
yeah,
I'm not talking to vote
yeah,
or drive a car
yeah,
or eat gravy. I don't
yeah,
like, whatever, that's my short answer, but my longer answer is a bit more
yeah.
complex.
You know what's funny though is that I think that for me, I
Mhm.
have felt more behind my why since Stanley got sick. Like since
Mm.
Stanley got really sick.
Yeah, yeah. Stanley's her cat.
Stanley is my cat.
Your older cat?
Yeah.
How old?
He is now 15, like just turned 15.
Right, and what's been going on with Stanley?
Stanley's been very sick for many years. Like he's had a lot of ailments, if you will,
Yeah,
including like severe allergies, which made his life really hard for many years, but also
costly for you too.
costly, very costly. But he's had eye surgery, he's had radioactive iodine treatment, he's had
Yeah,
a lot of things. All
yeah,
these things of which have shortened his lifespan. Ultimately, I mean, cats should be, 16 is a pretty average age for a cat to get to. But he's been really sick recently with this
yeah,
crazy
it's not
nosebleeds
looking great.
thing, which has been weird.
Yeah,
That yeah, the assumption is at this point that he's probably got tumors somewhere in his face area.
yeah,
But, yeah, but, like, a few
he's
weeks
bleeding a
ago,
lot from his nose.
bleeding off from his nose, although it has subsided substantially, and I don't know why. It's a bit of a weird unknown situation going on.
Yeah,
But a few weeks ago, I almost put him
yeah, no, I
down,
remember,
because
yeah,
it had gotten so bad, kind
yeah,
of very suddenly. And it was I think after that happened, I decided not to whatever. I think I felt more inclined to being like, "I don't think it's for me to decide."
mhm.
And it's a weird thing
It's
because even the vet is like, "You need to, like, once, like, end the suffering." I was like, "Yeah, but I mean, that" and dad talked to me about it. He's like, "Dying is part of life." And it was weird. I don't know, I haven't talked
that's
to dad
something
extensively about it, but it's just like,
that stuck with you.
it stuck with me of being like, "Yeah, it is part of life. The suffering sucks. I'm gonna try and make him, as pain-free as possible and all these things," but I think it's hard for me to be like, "It's my choice. I'm choosing when to kill
Yeah.
you." And I think that that's a hard I'm not sure. I'm struggling with that a lot.
Yeah,
But
not to get into that hugely, but I think that I would my perspective would probably align with what dad said.
mm,
Not that I would pass any judgment on anyone who wants to reduce suffering. I think the reduction of suffering, it comes
mhm,
very naturally to us, but for myself at least, without and it's easy to say from a distance, but it is also still a gift, I think,
mm,
and that sounds maybe bad and easy to say from here, but just watching Jerry die and Bopa and Noni and like just the people that were close or that I was very
mm,
close to, both physically close to when they died, you only get those last couple moments, right? And
mhm.
so I mean, the dogs that we put down are, Ralph
We've
and
also
or
several cats.
and
Mhm,
several we've had a lot of cats. It's incredibly difficult. And
mhm.
I think that it can be an act of compassion when you're really suffering. It's difficult with an animal because you don't know. You
Well,
don't know.
that's
And
Stanley has had this weird bounce back,
yeah,
and, like, so for
yeah,
me, I mean, like, damn, I looked at that day, and I'm so happy I didn't do it. on that day because
Yeah,
I and I mean, that was part of why I didn't do it though, I was like, "I don't want the unknown. I don't want the guilt of being like, well, what if I had waited and he had come back?" Because he's
and
had
look
so
look
many
at
up
his
and down
couple
days.
yeah, look at his couple weeks here, like, it's been good. Yeah,
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 and so I think that the last few weeks post that has made it very clear to me that I'm like, it's not for me to decide.
yeah,
I shouldn't be deciding this. If it's really, really bad and it like
yeah,
I think there's a clear line where, like
you'll see it.
you'll see it, like Blackie had a whatever happened,
Seizure
seizure or
type
something, and it was
thing,
like,
yeah.
yeah, of course, like that's a very clear
Yeah,
moment.
it was
Yeah,
bad at the end there, yeah.
yeah, and he was paralyzed and it was a whole thing. Like that was valid. That was a completely valid thing, but I mean, I think otherwise
No, exactly,
it's
I'm not saying that I really wouldn't well, I might pass judgment if people are doing it, like, truly prematurely. In fact, I definitely
mhm,
would. But it's a tough call to make.
yeah.
We don't we
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Anyways, it
So
was just
speak to why that's maybe changed your answer or impacted your answer when it comes to
well, I think it just has made it I think it's just strengthened my answer, that it is not for us to make that call.
yeah,
Whatever the reason is,
mm,
whatever the why is, it's
true.
not for us to make that call. And now that also stems into a bit of my Christianity factor,
Yeah.
where I do not believe that is my
Yeah,
I am not God, and I am not the one to make those decisions.
yeah. So let me ask you this, because Tasia and I chatted about Christianity quite a bit. So
Mhm.
obviously my name is Christian. We
It
were
is.
raised quite Christian.
Mhm.
Me a little less so right now, but you back into it.
Mhm.
Tasia, of course. And Tasia and I talked about it to some degree, but
Mhm.
and so we don't. It's the conversation's not about that, but just I guess because you brought that up, where would you say the connection lies between your vegetarianism, your conviction to vegetarianism? Because I
Mhm.
would still imagine, actually, tangent, because of course I love tangents. What would you say your conviction level is as a vegetarian out of 10?
Oh, 10.
10
10 to be a vegetarian,
maximum.
10. And it was great. Like, I can actually like, yesterday, the day before, Tasia and I were ordering Domino's,
Yeah.
and I was really craving chicken. I haven't in a long time.
Really?
Now that being
Wow.
said, I've been eating poorly, and so I think I was really craving protein, and I
Right.
hadn't been eating well,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
and I said it to Tasia, I said, "Man, I'm like, I don't know, man, I'm craving chicken like crazy,"
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, I won't tell anyone." I was like, "Tasia."
I won't tell
I
anyone.
was like, "Tasia, there's no way." I was like, "There's nothing." I was
Tasia,
like
Tasia.
but there was actually even though I said it, there was not even a moment in my mind that I thought I would actually do it. It was like I saw it on the menu and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, man," like, I remember the
So
taste of chicken and I was like, "Oh, I could go for chicken right now, but I'm never gonna actually do it."
I can kind of remember the taste of chicken. I think I remember the taste of chicken as a memory of what I now taste fake chicken as.
Mm,
I can kind of remember the texture. It's bouncier than fake chicken.
there is
There's a bit of
bouncier.
a more of a but,
But, it's like I don't know, it's like the memory of, like, chicken wings and, like, those kinds of things, like,
yeah,
there's not a
yeah.
substitute for that, and that
Not
was
yeah, not really.
there's not really a substitute for that,
Yeah,
and it's just like and I have had those moments, a couple of them since becoming a vegetarian, and it's usually has been around the time where actually
yeah.
dad, I think, pegged it, where it's like, I'm really craving the umami flavor actually that comes
Mhm.
from meat that I hadn't had in however long, and that and a mix with protein, and I just hadn't had it. And so it was like I needed to kinda get a fix, and it was not going to be through meat. There was
Yeah,
nothing that
yeah.
actually crossed my mind that actually wanted me to go
Yeah,
and get
yeah,
meat.
yeah.
It was just a moment of being like,
So,
"Oh, I could," you know?
would you say you're an ethical vegetarian? Or environmental, or health,
Oh,
or
to
what
be
would
honest
you
with
s
you, ethical. I don't even know the rest of it. I don't know about the rest of it. That's how little that's how much I know I'm an ethical vegetarian.
Yeah, that's
I don't
pre-vegan,
but
some might
I like,
say.
you were an environmental vegetarian for so long,
For
and I
years.
too never really cared enough to learn why. I just didn't, and I never went into it. So I never, like
No, that's honest, I appreciate it, it's honest.
so I've never looked into it. I've never looked into what the environmental part of it. I know it's a I know it is.
I
I am aware of that.
first of all, I am happy you say you're an ethical vegetarian. I think that that's the way to go. Obviously, I'm vegan. I
Yeah.
believe that that's the way to go. There are many reasons. There are so many reasons to be a
Mhm.
vegetarian or a vegan.
Yeah.
But as I always say now, there's only one reason you need to be a vegan, and
It's the ethical part.
it's the life.
Yeah. And I think that, like, it's funny because you say that, you think I'm close to becoming a vegan. I think that vegan is gonna be a really hard transition for me to the
Why?
point where I'll probably call myself plant-based for a while if I do go that
You
way.
should. You should.
Because I think my people pleasing part of me both feels like I don't wanna
But
become a vegan if I don't feel confident
do you
enough,
not feel that,
or
like, now in your life, given the I've talked about this already with Tat and Tasia, so we don't need to go into it
Mhm.
outside of our own perspectives or your
Yeah,
perspectives on where our family is at today.
yeah,
Because for me, part of the reason that I feel capable of doing this is because of mom and because of you and because
yeah,
of dad and because of the support I have now internally. Alone, I would never
yeah,
feel confident enough just knowing myself. And as you said, I'm a pretty confident dude, but like I don't feel like I've been actively trying to convert people very much. Okay, my family, yes. You guys, I have gone after you. I went after you.
yeah.
Like
You did
y-
go after me.
I went after you. I saw
But
a
you
moment.
actually didn't go after me as hard as I feel like you could've.
No, you told me to stop.
I did. Well, you were doing it at night. It was the nighttime sending thing
The
that was
the real the
right
real
before going to
sending.
sleep that I was
But I sent you
really
some
getting
nice ones, but then I sent you a couple scary ones.
right before I was going to sleep.
Yeah. That wasn't intentional. That was
That was
just
just
the
happened
time
to
I
be
was
when you were scrolling, yeah. But
but
I
well, and it was, Jacob, you made Vision, right? You made is that him?
yeah.
He's a big
Well, he was the one he was I think he was the one that showed me a little bit more the lighthearted fun part of the
he's
veganism
got
in the
good
sense of, like,
good
because he just made so much humor out of it that was
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
But, no, I think it was a mix of that plus the scarier ones, the gruesomer one. And I would say
yeah,
that I
yeah,
do have a tendency to be pretty empathetic towards things in
for
general, which
sure.
I know is, I think, why you kind of targeted me, if you will.
I
And
absolutely targeted you.
so I think that
I
that is
I am proud of you. I'm proud of me for going after you. And because I know where your heart lies. I'm just speaking plainly. I also know where mom's lay.
yeah,
And when Marie kind of mapped out the strategy to go after mom,
yeah.
I just went for it. And
Marie did that.
Marie helped me decide to humanize it.
Mm,
To separate from the larger arguments, the practical
right.
arguments, and connect it to the fact that I am my mother's son.
You very much so are.
Yes. And so,
If you can become a vegan, she can.
well, yeah, I didn't make it competitive if that's what you said,
No, no,
but
no, no, I'm
yeah,
saying that, like, you guys are actually exceptionally similar, that
we
of
are,
course that makes sense.
we are. And mom's been
Yeah,
hardcore
yeah. And I also would say I'm rather similar to you and mom,
for sure,
so
for sure.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I
But
think you are very empathetic.
yeah.
I think everyone is pretty empathetic. Honestly, not as empathetic as we are. There are
Mhm.
people that are more so,
Yeah.
that it lends itself more to. Tad harder.
Well, you know what's funny is that even if you just look at it, um, from the view of how we are with pets,
Yeah.
it's very evident which ones of us care more about animals.
Sure, but
You've never
what would you say about me there? Because
No,
I
no, no,
think
but you have as much as you have actually always loved our pets,
yeah,
and you have always shown them affection, even though they caused you allergies or you didn't necessarily there were times you were annoyed with them,
yeah,
you always showed them affection.
yeah.
Tat, completely indifferent.
She was indifferent, except for
Very indifferent.
Ralph for some time.
She did yeah, and it's
For
not that
some
she doesn't love the dogs, the various dogs we've had in our
the
life.
cat she does not care for.
She
Yeah,
one might say
she does not like
she
them.
does not like them. But
It's
e
true.
but she I don't know, there's still a difference in the way she interacts with the dogs even, I feel like, from the way that there's a different kind of
Yeah,
empathy level, I
there's a bit
think.
of indifference there.
Yeah, she loves them. I think it's just that
Yeah.
there's a like, it's not
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to
I
explain it.
no, I get it.
It's
I would say that from my standpoint, because I'm not always the most lovey-dovey. I see people who are so lovey-dovey with
yeah,
animals, right? Like, so they're just like, they flip out. They see a dog. They see
yeah,
Chum, right? They
yeah,
see Chum and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this dog is so cute."
yeah,
I love like, "Yeah, yo, this guy is
yeah.
cute. He's a cute
But,
dog."
like
But I'm also like, he's his own guy.
yeah,
Like, that's him. For me, I have just a high level of
yeah,
respect for animals. So I'm just like, "Live your life, my
yeah,
guy, my dude, my little
yeah.
bro. Live your life."
But,
Yeah.
I just think of, like, even when we put Norton down,
Yeah.
like, that you were a mess that day. But
Well,
you
it's not hard for me to
no, it's not hard for you
cry
to do, but I'm just saying I think that every single pet we've ever lost has impacted you pretty seriously in those
hugely,
moments,
hugely,
even though
hugely.
they weren't your pets or you weren't that attached to them in that way, you were always so, like, broken up by those
Yeah, I remember carrying Norton into
into that.
the vet.
Yeah.
hard.
But, like, I'm just thinking of it that way, like, T of course, Tasia was torn up by it and all that stuff, but, like, I mean, Tasia and her feelings about the cats in the house is
Yeah,
y
she can
y
be a bit yeah, well, when you're angry, I guess.
yeah, and it's hard. Listen, we have 4 cats in the house, it's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah,
of cats.
we've always had a lot of animals. We've always had a lot of animals.
But,
But you are right, and or Hector.
yeah, Hector was yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we've lost a lot of pets in our lives. But, like, I think it's
yeah,
different. There's just an I don't know, like, I've had problems with Willis, who's my other cat, he's younger, and I've had issues with him in the house,
yeah,
and even when it's been really hard and it's gotten to the point where I'm like, "I don't know if I can do this anymore,"
yeah,
I don't think I could ever actually put him down or do anything dramatic like, crazy
yeah,
like that. I don't
yeah,
know. Honestly, it comes to the point where, like, I don't know what to do about this.
yeah.
I'm not gonna he's my cat, I bought him, he's my responsibility, I'm not gonna, but I think there are times where
You,
others would probably be like,
son.
"Yeah."
Yeah,
So all I would say
yeah.
though, like, you, mom, and me and our attachment to pets
So then,
is different, I would say.
yeah, our attachment to people also.
Yeah.
I think. I
Yeah.
think the empathy extends well, stems from perhaps
Mhm.
more than that. So then, speak to me about dad.
Well, dad is I don't know. Dad is so quiet sometimes about certain things that it's hard to get a read on him, and that's why there's certain
But you
times
have a pretty good read on him.
I do have a pretty good read on him, and I think though there are still moments that I'm surprised because I might think that he feels a certain way,
Mm.
and then he surprises me. The Stanley thing surprised me. And you know what's funny is
You
that
mean when he
I
said, "Don't jump to it."
that he was the one who was not discouraging me because I think he didn't want me to
Make a
make it
decision
or
one way or the
well,
other.
no, I also think he didn't want me to, like, decide to do it and then regret it, and he had said something.
Right.
He had encouraged me not to do it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
he was
yeah, yeah.
being kind of neutral, but he was also the one saying, "You do not need to decide this today.
Yeah.
It's okay, you can go home and we can figure
Yeah.
it out later." And that surprised me more just because of our sometimes our history with the cats with cats, where he has
You mean his history.
his history with cats, where
Being
we
more dismissive, being more jumping to action faster.
yeah, yeah, but I think he's softened a lot, first of
We
all,
just
also,
to
but,
say, we've had a lot of cats.
we have had a lot of
There's been 12 cats in my life. I
you counted.
I counted. Yeah, there's been 12 cats in my life, and I mean, I am 34, but that's a lot of
Yeah,
cats.
we've lost a couple early in our lives.
We lost some cats early, yeah, which is tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're
I think
right.
but he's also softened more, in fairness, in the last few
So
years, but, like,
okay, but tell me about how you feel he's made his way to vegetarianism and why that is the case.
I think it's for the same reasons that we have. I think he just doesn't vocalize
Well,
it.
he talks like a vegan.
He doesn't but he just doesn't talk
He
about
sends
it.
me articles.
But that's the thing,
I'm
he's
like,
so
"What do
quiet
you
about it. He's, like, in the shadows. Like, he doesn't, like he's not gonna necessarily, like
do you but so why do you think what do you think stops dad from becoming vegan?" Because he talks like a vegan. He talks like a vegan more than mom talks like a
to be
vegan
honest with
sometimes.
you, dad could be a vegan today, and I just wouldn't know it because I think he wouldn't tell us. I think he would just become a vegan one day, and eventually someone would pick up on the fact that he stopped eating eggs. Like, that's what I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
honestly think he could do it so quietly behind the shadows that none of us would notice it. Because I feel like that's kind of what he did with vegetarianism. He, like, slowly started
No,
doing
no,
it.
I don't
He
he
was
never
like
really kind of declared it.
no, he, like, slowly started reducing it,
I
and
declared
then
it.
he was like, "Oh, I'm doing it, like, every" he almost became a weekday vegetarian, and then it was like and then he just was.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like this weird slow transition that nobody really fully noticed that it had actually fully happened.
Well, and mom and I were talking today, and, I was kinda like, "Yeah, well, I feel like dad also became a vegetarian or felt validated in becoming a valid or
Mhm.
legitimized in becoming a vegetarian when mom became vegan." Mom became vegan, and then dad's he was already en
Yeah,
route to this,
yeah,
before mom.
yeah.
I mean, he called her a hypocrite and whatever,
But
but
I think when it's the spouse, it's that much harder.
for sure, but as soon as she did that and she's like she skipped vegetarianism,
Mhm.
she skipped it as a step, she went right for veganism. She, um which is great, good conviction. I mean,
Mhm.
mom's hardcore as, am I, but
Yeah.
she's pretty hardcore. Um, I do wonder what element of and I will ask, if dad's willing to come on here, which I think he is. I think he's waiting to be invited, but, um, I will ask him if that plays a part. But, like, the fact that his wife is a vegan.
Well, he was alright because he was already en route to being a vegetarian when mom became vegan.
I
He
would
was he
say
was he was on his way.
I would say potentially even years before, maybe
Well, he
1 or 2
definitely
years
had
before.
reduced his meat intake for a couple years,
Yeah, so my
but he was in
theory,
and
and
out for a bit.
we'll ask him, my theory is that it provides him with a bit of cover
Mm,
to mom can be the strong, outspoken vegan,
right.
and dad can be the vegetarian, because he did not declare he was becoming a vegetarian. He still has not, really, in my opinion. So, I mean, he says it now. He
Yeah, it's like
says
he definitely
no,
calls
no,
himself
he
a
says
vegetarian
he's a
now. Yeah.
vegetarian, but I don't know if, let's say, he's told his brothers he's vegetarian.
Well, the thing is that because being a vegetarian sometimes doesn't require telling people.
You're right.
It
That's why
doesn't.
it's easier.
It's why it's easier.
That's why it's easier. Yeah.
You can literally be at a restaurant and
You're
just
right.
order a non-meat
You're
meal,
right.
and no one would notice. They'd be
You're
like,
right.
"Oh, you're feeling like having a salad today?" And, like, it's, like, such an easy undercover version of being
Where's me? "Excuse me, I'm a vegan.
yeah.
Can
No,
you"
no, no, you're like, "Does the salad dressing have" like, you could order a salad and you're like, "But does the salad dressing have mayo in it? Does" you know what I mean? Like, you have to
Yeah,
ask those
yeah, you're
questions.
right, you're right.
Versus for us, we don't have to ask those questions. If it doesn't explicitly say there's chicken
You
in the salad, we're
are
just like,
totally
"Eh,"
right.
you know, like,
Yeah,
it's a way
and you
easier.
care less. Like, you care less about if there's traces you're not eating meat, you get it. I like,
Yeah,
at least sorry, I speak for myself, when I was a vegetarian,
yeah,
there were things that I ate, candy,
yeah,
that had gelatin in it.
yeah.
I knew like, I didn't know it
Oh, I
then, but
definitely
I
yeah,
know it now,
yeah.
and I was just like, "Yeah, this is
Well, I think
vegetarian,
yeah, and
right?" It's not meat. It's not meat, and therefore it's
yeah.
fine,
I definitely have become
basically.
since you become vegan and mom became vegan, I
Yeah,
became more cognizant of the
sure.
where
Those
things are, like what things are in things.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That makes sense.
No, 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 for sure, for sure.
But
Um,
because I definitely don't think I realized it before.
so okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I
Like I never noticed that my favorite pasta sauce that I use to make my pasta has anchovies in it. And I never would have even thought to look
yeah.
at the back of a bottle for pasta sauce.
Oh, you become pretty good as a vegan.
And I'm like, wow. When I found that out, I was like, oh my goodness.
People are like like the other day, I was with Matt Barnes and Alyssa,
Mm,
and we were having, some snacks, and she brought some stuff over, and there were chips, and she's like, "No, no, they're vegan." And, I grabbed the bag, and I'm like I turn around, and I look at the ingredients, she's like, "Trust," or whatever, right?
yeah,
Literally looking at the ingredients, and on the back of the bag, there's a V for vegan, like
yeah,
vegan, like
yeah,
whatever. I was like, "Oh, excellent." But the other bag was not vegan. It was
yeah.
honey Dijon chickpea chips, and
Right.
she was like, "It's all vegan, right?" She's like, "Oh, honey," and I was like, "Yeah."
Well, honey, the of course the
The
one too that's hard
the
for
yeah, well, it's definitely hard. It's harder for people to it's clearer
it's
to me now. You know what's
it's
funny?
harder to connect it, but it's also because you have vegans that are not that do eat honey and it makes it
Well, yes, I think
I know
so.
you feel
No, no, I'm not saying I feel one way. So when I became vegan, I said I wasn't sure if I'm gonna eat honey. I
oh,
asked some of the vegans who helped me become vegan, who work at humane societies and stuff,
mhm,
through one of our clients, and, super passionate, vegan, but also gentle about it,
mm,
and I asked I was a vegetarian, like, already 4 years,
mm,
3 5 years, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember, and I asked stupid questions. Like, now what they're not stupid
yeah,
from the outside, but as a vegan, I'm like, "Dumb question." Like,
yeah,
why did it I was like, "Ooh, what do you think about honey?" You know, just, like, kinda
yeah,
prying and stuff I get
yeah,
all the time now,
yeah,
and I'm like, "Ugh, wow, she was so gentle." Like,
mhm,
I sometimes not now, but at the beginning, I certainly snapped at people,
yeah.
right? I would be like,
Like,
"Ah,"
yeah.
right?
I mean, I feel like we're gonna get into this, but it's like, but I think the way to approach veganism is you gotta be gentle. Because I think that
Sure,
there is a
although y definitely, people don't like being attacked. JL talked about this when we
yeah,
were doing a practice session. He was like, "You're never gonna convert anyone by being aggressive with them,
yeah,
by being condescending with them, by being" Yes, maybe, but I actually do think there's a portion of the population that would see slaughterhouse footage, for
mhm,
instance, and be like, "What am I part of? Like,
yeah,
what have I done?" And, um I think that's good. I
mhm,
think I don't think we've captured all those people.
yeah,
And so I think we we have to attempt to do that. But I do agree, especially with the people closest with you, which is what I'm most interested in.
mhm,
Because vegan outreach is largely based on street activism,
mm,
right? Converting strangers. Because I think that converting people closest to you is hard. because you knew me before I was vegan. You knew me before I was vegetarian,
Yeah.
but it's probably the most important. But for your own sanity, for my sanity, my
Mhm.
goodness, way better. But also because this is your
Way higher risk.
higher risk, but this is your sphere of influence.
Yeah.
And you love these people. I love these people. You're my sister.
Yeah.
Tat, Tasia, they're my sisters. My sisters.
Mhm.
Of course I want them to be vegan. I want everyone to be vegan.
Mhm.
But my own sisters, we were raised by the same people. Those people that we were raised by,
Mhm.
one is vegan and one is vegetarian. And I would argue he's on his path to be vegan. And by 2026, the end of 2026, my goal is he's vegan.
Well, much easier vegan transition.
Of course, he's lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Has been his whole life.
So
He eats
he just
eggs.
got to cut out eggs and he's good.
But I mean
Yeah.
he'll get there.
I don't I very much think so. Yeah.
He'll get there.
There's no hesitation in my mind, honestly, that he will get there and it'll probably be soon.
Yeah.
But I just don't think we'll know about it. That's my point.
Yeah, maybe.
I just
Maybe.
don't think we'll know about it.
Yeah. No,
One
you
day he's gonna go to Costco and he will come back with no eggs.
yeah.
That's what I think will
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. No, he's huge on the justice element, so I
Yeah.
don't think that it's too far off.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I don't know where I was going with some of that, but
I don't know either. We
I
were talking
love
about honey for a
I
while.
love oh, honey, yeah, honey and how delicate they were Barbara was with me about
Mhm.
honey. I gave myself permission when I first became vegan to potentially eat honey. I was like, "I haven't decided about honey." I said it for, like, 8
Mm.
months. I never ate honey, not once, not a single time, because I knew that I didn't wanna eat honey. I'd already figured out the
Mm.
reasons why I didn't wanna eat honey,
Yeah.
why it didn't make sense, why it represented exploitation,
Mm.
why I extended that care and compassion to bees, not just to
Mhm.
bees are animals too.
Yeah.
They're insects, but they're
Yeah.
animals, and they're part of the animal kingdom, and they have community, and why? We don't have to.
Yeah.
We got maple syrup, yo, and
True.
especially here. Um, but again, like when I became a weekday vegetarian, I gave myself permission to eat honey. I
Well, I
didn't
think
eat it.
you just didn't wanna you didn't wanna make a
I
statement
hadn't
and then go back on it.
exactly. I
That's what it
hadn't
was, and I get that.
you're right. That's exactly what it was.
You didn't want to like, I think it was the same thing. It was the
Yeah,
same thing with you becoming a weekday vegetarian,
yeah,
to then being a vegetarian, to then I think you take those sometimes because you're just like, "I don't wanna go back on what I said,"
yeah.
which
Well,
completely goes into who you are as a
mm,
person, to be honest.
does it?
Yep.
Why do you say that?
Because you would never wanna appear like a hypocrite in that sense.
It is a big part of my character, yes. Why do you think that is?
I honestly don't know.
Hmm.
I couldn't tell you. I would say that I have similar instincts, but I don't really know why it is. I'm sure it's somewhere in their upbringing.
Well, I took a cognitive dissonance class before, becoming vegetarian,
Mm,
and it's part of the reason that I became vegetarian. Um, yeah, it's funny though because it's not like I fear necessarily being wrong. Like Tat and Tasia both brought up the fact that I ate meat periodically as a vegetarian,
mhm.
which I did because I gave
When you
myself
were a weekday vegetarian or when you were a vegetarian?
when I was a weekday vegetarian for sure,
Mm,
but that was only about 6 months. I think the last time I ate meat was a fish, a
mm,
smelt, I think it's called, a
yeah,
little fish 5 years ago, maybe 6 years
mm,
ago as a vegetarian. And, um, yeah, it would have been like 2018,
mm.
maybe. So 6 years ago. Anyways, don't know where I'm going with that, but, so let me ask you something about what Tasia and Tat kind of expressed to me, Tat particularly expressed to me, which was about the robbing of traditions. Yeah, and how Tat feels particularly. Well, and even yourself, because we had all these recipes, we had all these family, yeah, traditions and kind of cultural elements, um, that were embedded in our get-togethers, and they've changed hugely now.
Mhm,
Now 4 of the 6 of us are not eating meat, and you made a beautiful cookbook for us.
mhm.
Um, lots of that can't be used anymore.
It actually can though, and dad has done it.
Adapted it.
Dad's
I
adopted it.
I I've done that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I think you just have to see the
I
the
also made
ability
I
to
made
adapt it.
lemon squares from there the other day.
Oh, yeah?
They were excellent, yeah, they
Yeah.
were excellent. It
Awesome.
worked perfectly, actually.
Those kinds of things are actually valid.
Yeah.
Easy. As
I
long as you
also
find a good
made
vegan butter, you're
I also made the beef and carrot dish.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with this there's this, like, kind of, like, fake medallion
I've had
beef
them.
type. Yeah,
Those
yeah,
those that was the
yeah.
one that I think I ate that I said the texture was, like, too close, and
It's too close.
it kinda
But
turned my
that
stomach.
so when I ate those, I felt the same
Yeah.
thing. It kinda turned my stomach. They're called, geez, what are they called?
They were amazing, but I remember it turned my stomach, the
Yeah,
texture was
marble. They're kinda like
yeah,
they look like filet mignon kinda
yeah.
thing, like the medallion type things,
Mhm.
and, they're great, but when I had it as, like, a little steak thing at a restaurant, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
what the heck is this?"
yeah.
Like, kinda scares you a bit. I don't know how much that happens to you, but sometimes I eat something and I'm like, "Oh," and then
Well,
like, "Oh."
I did actually accidentally eat meat recently,
Oh,
and
yeah?
I once I realized it, it was a moment for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah? What was it?
I had ordered from, like, Uber Eats, and I
Yeah,
ordered a vegetarian burger, and
yeah.
they sent me a meat burger,
Oof.
and I bit into it, and it was because it was, like, an Impossible meat burger or something like that,
Yeah.
so
You're like,
it looks the
maybe."
same,
Yeah.
and I didn't really think anything of it because I have never ordered a meat burger from that place. I just had never even had that, and so I bit into it, and I was like, "No,
This
this
is
is
me.
meat."
Yeah.
And, it was a weird moment because it for sure, like, immediately turned my stomach, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," like,
Did you continue eating it or stop?
I hesitated, I had one more bite, and then I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And there was a part of
Yeah.
me that was like, "Well, it's
Yeah.
here already," and there was, like the dad had this mentality for a period of
Yeah,
time
the
where it's
practical
like, "Well, it's here
piece.
already, it's dead, it's in front of me, I'm wasting it," and then I was like, "But I couldn't do it." It was
No, it's good.
yeah, I had like a I don't know, visceral reaction to it.
I completely get that. I can't eat and, like, I will not even finish chewing something. I will out of my
Yeah.
mouth. This is why I had a double Impossible meat burger at Burger Priest in Toronto just 2
Mhm.
nights ago, and, I went there and I ordered it, and then I was like, "I'm vegan." Part of the reason I say I'm vegan
Mhm.
is because I cannot have them mess up the order.
Mhm.
If I bite into a burger like that, I will freak out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, like, freak out publicly, but internally, I will freak out.
Yeah.
I have not tasted beef in 8 years.
Yeah.
I could like and I've been 10 years vegetarian, and I've
Yeah.
had times where it's like, you eat accidentally something,
Yeah.
and there were times early days vegetarian that I would probably finish chewing and maybe
Yeah.
swallow something. Now, I would flip out. I would
Yeah.
just internally, I would the chaos that would ensue
Yeah.
in my heart, like,
Yeah.
I would just be like, "Ah, what have I done?"
Yeah.
Um, just the idea of eating someone else's
Body.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, and,
yeah,
we talked
yeah,
about this before,
it's
like, but what for me,
yeah,
the transition to
yeah,
becoming a vegetarian was it started out with the not being able to separate it, and because it started with the stuff that had bones in it, right? For me,
yeah,
that was where it
yeah,
really got to me.
yeah,
Started there, then it was, like, steaks with the bloodiness, and it was,
yeah,
like, the more I could not separate
for sure.
the fact that it was flesh.
Yeah, and we do a lot to separate that, I
Yeah.
think, in our culture and in our society. So, okay, maybe let's ask a question around that. So, there's a lot of people like that. I think particularly maybe a lot of women,
Mm.
um, men too, maybe. I shouldn't maybe, um, make it a really gender at all, but I think I've heard from a lot of women that they don't like the idea of bones being in meat or disconnecting the meat from the animal. What would you say the strategy is? Because I'm going after it. Um, to 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 talk to people like that, to talk to people who already have a difficult time seeing meat in its real form.
There I think there's a level of hypocrisy right there, and that's what but how do
Right,
you
but
approach that in a way that's not gonna
yeah,
yeah, turn people off?
I think there's a fair amount of people that don't eat meat just for that purpose, because
Yeah.
it grosses them out.
Well, I think that the thing is that if you have to do that, if you have to eat meat in a way if you cannot eat meat with the bone in, where
Yeah,
there's blood, where there's veins, where all these things, if that turns your stomach, you should not be eating the ground version of it.
yeah,
Like that it like, if that you're just you're tricking yourself, which I was doing. Like, that's before I became a vegetarian, that's what it was. I slowly removed things
yeah,
that made it so, like, evident that I was eating flesh,
yeah,
and then it was just like I was just kind of tricking myself to being like, "No, no, no, this is not I'm not eating meat in a sense," because I didn't you know,
yeah.
you could separate it that way.
Yeah.
It wasn't in your face.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's like if you have if you have trouble doing that, well, then that says something, and maybe you should be thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I've never
I
been
hear it
one to
I
like
hear it a lot. Like, I hear
yeah.
people say, "Meat grosses me out,"
Mhm.
right? Or like, it's I don't wanna see a bone. I don't wanna
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I I have weird responses these like, sometimes I'm just neutral or, I don't
Well,
look
because it's
very vis
obvious to you in a sense.
just
You're
like,
like, "Well,
"Okay."
yeah, obvious."
It's a dead body,
Yeah.
like, what are we talking about
Yeah.
here? Of course it is, and I'm like, "Put more bones in it."
Yeah.
It pisses you off when you see a pig on a spit? Great.
Yeah.
That's the right response. That's
Well, I
how
mean,
you should respond. You should feel uncomfortable when you see a dead animal and someone's eating it. Honestly, I think you should.
put slaughterhouse photos on the meat products like they do with cigarettes.
I would love that. I would love that. Put it
Don't be
I
ignorant.
yeah,
Here's
I would
the
wanna say
right
is like, "A cow had to die for this meat." Like, this is what I don't and put a friggin' picture of that cow,
and name it.
dead. Yeah, and name it. Well,
Daisy.
no, but
No.
you know what's funny?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but you know what's funny is that, like, now they're doing that, right? Like,
Yeah.
at steakhouses, they're like, "This was, whatever, Henderson, the
Yeah.
cow who lived a great life in a field." Like, BS, BS,
Yeah.
BS 10 times, but, like and then people were saying how I can't remember who I was talking about, and they're like, "Oh, maybe" Tat. Tat
Mhm.
was saying, like, "It made me so uncomfortable at a steakhouse, they're explaining the quality of life and all this stuff." It's like, doesn't make it better. It does not make it better. It makes it worse. It's totally effed. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Mm.
And so I don't like that. But yeah, I would put a disclaimer for sure, like cigarettes on me. If like from a policy standpoint, it's
Mhm.
just like, come on. Like, if you can't even face the fact that something had to die for your food,
Mhm.
that's step one.
Yeah.
One. Something died for this. Not like you can't separate the fact that a
Mhm.
cow dies for 1 steak as much as it dies for 50 steaks
Yeah.
or 200 steaks and the ground meat and whatever. They die for 1.
Mhm.
There's no version of this situation where you could have removed that steak and you are absolved of
Yeah.
its death. You are not. You are 100% involved in their death.
Yeah.
And so but people would ask me that, right? Especially as a vegetarian. I feel like they don't ask me so much as a vegan, but they'd be like, "Yeah, but we got 400 steaks from this cow," whatever. I don't know what the heck. I don't know how many steaks you get from a cow
Yeah.
anymore. I don't know this stuff. I don't care to know. But it's like, yeah, okay. So is it one life divided by 400? The math doesn't make sense to me.
No.
The life is connected directly to the fact that it had to die for one steak just as much as it had to die for 100. And so it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You are responsible for
Mhm.
its death. And if you cannot take responsibility for its death, be it a fish, be it a pig, be it a
Yeah.
cow, be it whatever the heck we exploit,
Yeah.
we
Well, and
got a
I
problem.
hate the attitude of, "Well, it's already dead," or it's, like, "It would have been killed either way." And it's like, but no,
Supply and
the
demand.
less yeah, it's a supply and demand thing. The less if you stop buying it and all these other people stop buying it, well, then less cows are gonna die and less chickens are gonna die because there's not the supply for it.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
And yeah, sure, there will be waste for a while. There will be more waste because as it corrects, but then it'll correct.
But there's a huge amount of waste already.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
T
mean, more
Yep,
waste than it already is, right?
for
But,
sure.
like, that it's
So,
just a correction it's a correction process
has
for
someone ever asked you about where like, what happens if we don't breed these cows? What happens if we don't breed these chickens?
no, people don't talk to me about this.
So, it's funny okay, let's go back into that then. Do you think then because as I'm asking these questions and I'm exploring these conversations with you, with
Mhm,
my other sisters, with friends, like, I've already reached out to a bunch of people. I got 30 people on my list for this
mhm,
podcast, this series, the non-vegan experience, to explore what it's like for them to have me in their life,
yeah.
basically, and their understanding of veganism and whatnot. Like, am I alone here? Like, do you think that there are more people like you than like me that are just kind of living their life?
Quietly.
Sure, I don't, yeah, I don't, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think there probably are.
yeah, okay.
I think there are, I think it's just I think because it is still considered to be controversial in the sense of it more just, like, people are afraid to talk about it because they don't
Mm,
wanna be challenged, or they don't wanna go against the norm, or they don't wanna go whatever, so they're just like it's a people pleasing thing. We are a people pleasing society, ultimately, and it's like,
why do you think that
uh,
is?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew why, but I don't know why we are, because
Yeah,
ultimately, if it's one of those things that it's just like, if we all stopped, it'd probably be fine. But, like, it's just we we don't people don't like to stir stuff up, so, like, I don't wanna be controversial, so I'd
yeah,
rather just do things quietly, and as long as it's not gonna impact everyone around me, then, like,
Mhm.
Cool. I'm good. I'll just live my life. I'm not hurting anyone else. I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
Like, and it just becomes the difference between being like, this is my personal choice to do this versus it becoming, something that is like a movement, like something you want to help others do. And for me, I'm like, I'm gonna do my part,
S
like,
100%. And, I mean, is that what you see as part of the distinction between veganism and vegetarianism?
yeah, I think sometimes I think vegetarians are just like, I'm doing my part, and that's just it's a personal choice. I'm doing what I believe is right, and I'm gonna do, and whatever you guys decide to do, that's on you. Like, I
Mhm.
think it's a bit more of and I'm not saying it's the right thing to do because I think it's a little bit more dismissive of just being like, I don't know, it's a cop out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like, I know it's a cop out.
Yeah.
I could be more vocal about it. I could, like, but it's
Do you
easier for
feel
me
as
to
though
be.
you have a responsibility to be more vocal about it?
Not
Personally,
really, to
you.
be honest, no. Well,
Do you feel
I think you do it for me.
okay, well, that was my next question. That was my next question. Do you think I have a responsibility to be more vocal about it? 'Cause
No, I don't think you do.
why not?
I don't think you have a responsibility to do it. I think it's great that you do, but I think ultimately it's no matter what, it's your choice whether you wanna be vocal about it or not.
But there are lives at stake.
Yeah, so you're choosing to, but you're still choosing to be vocal about it and to take a stand. But you could still like, I mean, it's I don't think that, like, I get what you're saying because like, it's like someone has to do that. Someone has to make that stand and try and do something, like, make a change. But is it your responsibility? I don't know.
Maybe not so much is it my responsibility individually, is it all of our responsibility when you see the light, so to speak?
Well, I don't know that it's vegetarians' place.
Elaborate on that.
No, I see because I as a like
I mean, I think I know where you're going with this, why you'd say it's not a
because
vegetarian's place.
vegetarians are halfway. They are. I'm
Yeah.
aware of it.
No, it's I
They are
just
halfway. I know that. I know that there is a hypocrisy in the way and vegetarianism. There is because
so
majority of vegetarians, if you are an ethical vegetarian, you are halfway because you cannot actually be entirely an ethical vegetarian and not be a vegan.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, well
Egg
said. I
production,
just
dairy production, all of it. It's torture, it's killing, it's all of it. I know that. I am aware of it. And so how can I
so
be an ethical vegetarian, claim to be an ethical vegetarian,
so
preach it, and still be supporting that
how do we
industry?
bridge that gap? You said halfway. I said in my conversation with Tat or Tasia, one of the 2, I said, "Vegetarians believe that they're 90% of the way there. They believe that they're 90% of the way there, but they've totally missed the plot." Because the difference is vegetarians don't eat meat. Vegans don't eat animals. They don't
Mhm.
exploit animals.
Yeah.
So you nailed it, in my opinion. When you say they're halfway, I would say that's, yeah,
Well,
generous.
I think
I
vegetarians also ultimately would like to pat themselves on the back a little more than they should.
right, which yeah, I would agree. As a vegetarian for a long time, I would agree. I thought I would talk to vegans. I would talk to vegans and I was
Mm,
like, "Yeah, my guy, I'm with you. We're the same." I would say I felt that. I truly felt that. Now, I'm vegan and I'm your brother, so you know that, at least through me, the impression of vegans on vegetarians
mhm.
is not that. But I remember talking to vegans and they're like, and I remember them being kinda dismissive to me, just being like, "You actually don't get it, guy. You don't know."
Well, and I
And
think that probably vegetarians do get it more than they just pretend not to.
I think
I
there's
think
some
that probably do, but, like,
yeah,
I think maybe particularly ethical vegetarians, I think it's pretty hard not to see that
yeah,
there are the other elements of animal products that, of course, the same impact. They're
yeah,
doing the same thing.
yeah.
So, I mean, it's unless you're choosing to
So
be completely
but
blind
there's
to
huge
it.
numbers of vegetarians.
Yeah.
Huge numbers of vegetarians. What do we do to go after them? Because it should be the most obvious target population for vegans to go after. What do we do?
I don't know, like, I think that there is a messaging factor that
Mm,
I think it's it's like I don't know, like, 'cause I think that the part is that there is often just there's a lot of focus on killing animals for meat, a
yeah,
lot of it,
yeah,
and I think there's the element of people being of, like, understanding the level of, I guess you'd call it torture that animals go through for the other
sure.
products.
Yeah,
rather than actually understanding that it's not just torture that comes from those other products, that for those other products, it's killing.
Yeah.
Killing is the result of those other
Yeah,
products
like eggs.
result
People are
in
always like,
killing.
"Eggs, what?
What do you
No,
mean?
no
Chickens
killing." Yeah,
produce
yeah, yeah,
eggs, it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But it is like, no, 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 there's a huge amount of killing
Huge.
to produce eggs.
Yeah, huge.
Same thing with
Yeah,
milk,
yeah.
like the dairy industry. And I think
Milk is worse. Milk is worse. At least the chickens killed in egg production are killed on day 1 or when they've been spent and have had enough eggs. Like, m
yeah,
milk production is worse. You have to separate mothers from babies.
yeah, there's a whole the yeah. I do know the and that's part of why
Like,
I'm like, I know that vegetarians are halfway. I know it.
I know you know. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's I'm
But
always trying to
I
make
think that's my point though, is the emphasis has to be less on, "Oh, it's sad we're taking the babies away from the mother to do that." Well, it's like, well, what happens to those babies?
yeah,
No one like, and it's not that no one talks about it. I think it's just that it's like for there's that disconnect. It's not realizing, oh, it's not just that you're being oh, the poor, the poor baby cow is being taken away from
yeah,
his mother. It's like, no, no, no. That baby cow gets sent to a slaughterhouse and is made for veal,
yeah,
right? Like that's what
yeah,
it's used for.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's not just, oh, it's gonna go and it's being raised without its mother. Like, no, no, no.
yeah,
To do this, it's a chain reaction. It's gone to go and make
yeah,
veal. Right? So like it's it's putting those it's connecting those dots,
yeah.
right? So if a vegetarian is an ethical vegetarian because they don't want to kill animals, well, you need to realize that those other products you're eating
Also
also result
contributes
in
to
killing
yeah, yeah, yeah. Directly.
directly. Yeah, yeah, it's not contributes. It is directly requires death.
Right.
And that is where the misstep is, I think, for a lot of ethical vegetarians.
Yeah.
And it's not that they maybe don't know it, but I think it's kind of like oh, I'm just gonna
Conveniently
pretend it's
conveniently
not
disconnect.
real and disconnect from it and whatever.
So, from your perspective, what is the hardest thing about becoming vegan?
Admitting that you were wrong.
Brilliant. Brilliantly said.
No, honestly, it's a weird thing because having this conversation,
No,
I have never verbalized a lot of the things that I'm saying to you today. I have
interesting.
felt it, and I know it, and I'm aware of it all, but I've never verbalized it.
Yeah.
So for me right now, I'm admitting to you that I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I've felt it and I've known it for a long time,
Yeah.
but you have to admit that you're wrong. Talk about the honey conversation you just said. You didn't
Yeah.
want to commit to it because subconsciously you didn't want to go back on it.
I
Like,
didn't wanna go I didn't wanna go back on it, and I hadn't really decided. Now I've decided.
yeah.
But when I first became vegan, people were like, "What about honey?" And I'm like, haven't
But
decided yet."
like same thing but when you become a vegetarian, you slowly transition to vegetarianism and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's a concept of being like, okay, but if I'm doing it and then I change my mind, now I'm admitting that I made the wrong call or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Becoming a vegetarian, first step, becoming a vegan has you have to admit, I have lived my life wrong this whole time. I
Yeah.
have been doing the wrong thing.
You're right.
You have to fully admit I was wrong. That's part of why people ask you, sorry, why you become a vegan. They want to know like, like because you were wrong before. Are you admitting you lived your whole life wrong?
Sure, that's brilliant stuff. I gotta tell you, that's really good. No, no, it's really good. It's really
People
good.
don't want to be wrong.
I went on a bit of a rant as I can do sometimes with
No,
with
could you?
with with our cousin Lulu and Jake when I was sitting with them, and I kind of started off by saying because I'm always testing out different ways of presenting information. Always, every interaction, I'm just like, does this work? Does it impact it? Does like, do I see a response? Do I not? Do I see people kind of glaze over?
Yeah.
Like what? Because I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn what works, what doesn't work. So for everyone who's heard me talk, it's not personal. I'm just trying to know like what actually has an impact on them. And one of the things I started off with Lulu, and I was like, Lulu, like if information was presented to you that if upon reflection or even hearing it, you're like, yeah, that's right. Would you be willing to change your mind? And
Chris, I
she's
lived
like,
my whole life without refusing to admit I was wrong.
I get that, but she was like, "Of course." Like, I mean, she's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. They're
Mhm.
like, "Of course, you have to be willing." No, but you have to be willing in those professions,
Yeah,
particularly
to
to
admit you're wrong.
understand you're wrong
Yeah,
or to just
concede.
admit defeat and concede
Yeah.
sometimes. But I didn't see it from the flip side that you're saying. Like I presented the information that way so that I could start an argument that if it resonated enough with them, they would say, "Ah, click, that makes a lot of sense." To some extent, I think it
You
would.
are literally telling them to switch their entire moral life.
well, not them, both of
No,
them
no,
have
no, but
been
I'm saying
vegetarians, but yes,
to admit that you are to become a vegan, you're literally admitting my entire moral situation
framework.
framework that I've been living for however long was wrong.
I don't know. No, I disagree. It's not that your moral framework was wrong. It's that your actions did not align
Right,
with your moral framework.
you were going
No, no,
against your
but
moral
it's
framework.
hugely different because
Mhm.
if you're saying it's like everyone you ask will tell you they love animals.
Yeah,
If they don't, who are they?
yeah.
What's happening? Whatever. If you don't, it's fine. Okay.
There's some
Maybe
people
you're
that don't.
more in alignment, but uh,
Yeah,
from a moral framework standpoint, they're like, "Yes, this is right. Animals deserve these things. They whatever." You listen to a vegan
yeah,
talk, you listen to a vegetarian talk if they're passionate about these things, and you're like, "Hmm, that's good. That's a good version of what humanity and what humanity's mark should be on this planet."
yeah,
They simply are not acting consistently with those values, which makes it easier because you're right, admitting you're wrong, but admitting your actions are wrong.
yeah.
So, if I'm taking what you've said and just what it's not admitting because admitting morally you're wrong is difficult. It more
Kinda is though. Because it is I just say that it is kind of admitting that you were morally wrong because you people are convincing themselves that
it's
eating
fine.
that it is not going against their morals
Yeah, maybe you're
to do
right.
that.
You're
They're
right.
convincing themselves that it's
Yeah,
fine. It's not the same thing. That's what they say. It's always that. It's not the same thing. You love your cat, you love your dog. It's not the same thing though.
yeah,
They've literally convinced themselves that it's not the same. They are not living against their moral code. And so
yeah,
them becoming vegan, becoming a vegetarian is them admitting I wasn't living to what my moral code was.
yeah. Hmm.
It's no one wants to admit they're wrong. Nobody.
So how do you ease people into that?
Well, I think there's an aspect of and this is okay, I'm gonna go into religion a little bit here, okay?
Go, go.
One of the hardest things about becoming a Christian is accepting forgiveness,
Sure,
okay? It is accepting that you are worthy of forgiveness.
sure.
It is the biggest thing I've struggled with
Yeah,
as becoming a Christian.
sure.
That is the part that I think you have to make people feel okay
Yeah.
with the fact that they were wrong. And just because you used to eat animals and just because you used to do these things, now you're taking the right step. And that's what matters,
S
right?
yeah,
It doesn't matter what you did before. It's okay. Everyone did it. No one is getting it right at the beginning, and that's okay.
yeah.
It's about what you do now.
Yeah, I have a thing about that I kinda say sometimes to people, I'm like, "I've killed 10,000 animals," just because I did the math,
Of course.
approximately. And, just based on the amount of time I was not, vegetarian or vegan. And obviously I feel ashamed about
Mhm.
that, but, it doesn't follow me
Mm.
because I'm happy I changed.
Yeah.
I'm we talked about confidence at the beginning. I'm more confident as a vegan than I've ever been. I know I live in alignment with my values.
Mhm.
I I'm like, "Come at me, my guy.
Yeah.
Come at me, my friend,
Yeah.
because I will change my mind if you convince me
Yeah.
otherwise." I know I will. I've done it. I've done it many
Yeah.
times, not just with vegetarianism and veganism, but the progression within my own life has demonstrated to me, I've proven to myself that I have the capacity to change my mind
Mhm.
extremely fundamentally to the point that I am a very passionate vegan, and I get it. I know it aligns with my
Yeah.
values. I know
But
it.
people are stubborn as hell, man.
I know they're stubborn as hell, but I was stubborn.
Yeah. I would classify you as stubborn.
Yeah. So, what do we do, right?
I think it's about and this is where I think there is, like, a weird thing about like, a religion mixing with it, and
I thought
it's
said
a
the same, yeah.
but there is a level of, like, grace that needs to be
Forgive
communicated.
yourself for the
Forgive yourself, but also, like, the people around you and, like, vegans trying to get the worst thing you could do is basically be punishing everyone for doing the wrong thing right now.
mm,
There has to be a level of grace there to be like, "It's okay. I know that I know you're not following the way that, like, your morals should be pointing you in the right direction." It's about, like, being like, "It's okay. What matters is how you move forward. That's what matters." Because if you constantly are just telling people they're doing the wrong thing and, "Oh my gosh, they messed up." And this is where I
yeah.
totally know your stance on the vegan versus plant-based mentality. We've talked about it before about, like, what it is to be vegan versus what it means to be plant-based.
I would encourage everyone to go plant-based,
But my point
but
is that I think why I'm saying that is just because I think there has to be space to make mistakes. And because it's a hard
I
transition, and if you're feeling like anytime I make a mistake, I'm gonna be punished or the community is gonna dismiss me or I'm
yeah,
gonna whatever,
yeah.
it doesn't make you wanna go that way.
No, you're right. You're right.
There has to be a level of grace.
Well, which is why, like, just as we were talking earlier, and also just based on my own trajectory,
Mhm,
I would encourage people to go weekday vegetarian first,
mhm,
like I did. Test it out. Because during that process, that's when I learned to be disgusted by meat.
mhm.
Just in 6 months. Do it.
Yeah,
First of all, the reduction of harm is massive in doing
yeah,
that alone. Not everyone can become vegan overnight.
yeah,
Some can, and if you can, great. Do it. Do it right now. People say to me all the time when they're like, "Oh, I could be vegetarian. I could be vegan." I'm like, "Do
well, why
it.
aren't you? Yeah.
Do it. Immediately do it." If you're
Why
saying
aren't
this
you?
to me, if you come to my face and you're bold enough to say, "I could do this,"
Mhm,
do it. I dare you. Do it.
yeah.
And
Have you noticed I haven't said that this
no,
whole thing
but
because I
but
don't
you
wanna say that.
yes, sure, but you are my sister, and it's and I think it's normally strangers who say this to me.
Yeah,
Not strangers, but, like, acquaintances or, friends to some extent where they're just like, "I could do that." It's just like,
yeah.
if you could do that,
Why
why
aren't
are
you?
you not? First, but also, don't tell me that then. I
Yeah,
don't care. I do not care. Join me or get the hell out of here.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
care.
people need to educate
And
themselves.
that sounds cruel. I'm not saying it's cruel. I want everyone to be
Yeah.
vegetarian or vegan. I want everyone to be vegan, to be clear. I
Mhm.
don't want everyone to be vegetarian. I want everyone to be vegan because I do not believe that we should be living our lives exploiting animals. I do not believe it.
Yeah.
You know I don't. I just want to figure out a path, which is part of the reason for to have these conversations. You've given me insights even today that have helped me understand the other side. I'm now deep in it. I'm a
Mhm.
hardcore vegan, right? And I'm having trouble relating to my fellow human being, but I still love everyone. I still love
But
my family and my friends. Some of the people that are closest to me are not vegan. And so,
but how frustrating it is for you. I have to understand. I wanna ask you this question.
sure, yeah.
Is it not so frustrating that you go out of your way to try and understand everyone else, to try and relate to them, and nobody does it to you? Like, don't you ever wanna be like, they're asking you questions, like, go freaking educate yourself. If you feel like you wanna ask me questions, you're gonna pry into my life, go educate yourself about it.
Yeah, that's a good question, Shara. And well, thank you, I guess, first off. But um, I don't know. We, yeah, it's frustrating. But I'm also happy when people ask questions. If they're curious, I want to tell them.
That's fair.
I want And I'm trying to learn. I'm
Mhm.
trying to learn the best way because I've got a goal. I do not care about looking holier than thou. I do not care about look, I know I'm better than people. I know it. I'm happy to say it. People are like, "Oh, you think you're better as a vegan?" I know I'm better as a vegan because I live in alignment with my values. And
Yeah,
every vegan should be proud, super proud of being a vegan.
yeah,
And in veganism, people are like, "Oh, maybe we abandon veganism because it's got a bad rep." I say, "No. We should be proud. Vegans are the solution. We are the solution.
yeah,
We understand that we are not alone on this planet.
yeah,
Everyone else is wearing blinders
yeah,
and they do not understand. But we can't lose the connection to the part of ourselves that wasn't vegan, which
yeah.
I can feel myself distancing from,
Mhm.
which is why I'm trying to have these conversations, which I wanted to convert our whole
Yeah.
family. I'm still going after it. Tat's like, "I'll never do it." I'm like, "I'm coming after you, yo. I'm going after
Coming
Tasia.
for you.
I'm coming after Tasia first, and then I'm coming after you. And I'm going after Muhammad. I'm going after everyone. I'm going after
Tasia will
everyone
be
now.
much easier.
Tasia will be much easier. I know I'm going after Tasia next because Tasia's got the heart for it
No,
easy.
no, but Tasia also lives in a home where it's there.
I know.
That's why it's easier.
But
Like, Tat and Muhammad and everyone, they're isolated. They
yeah,
do their own thing,
yeah,
that's fine. Tasia already eats way less meat than she did before, and she has become way chiller about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I've told you, like, when I first became vegetarian and whatever, she was still always buying meat. Now,
yeah,
she's like, "Well, we'll just eat with tofu. We'll just"
yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh."
yeah,
I'm like, "Alright, cool."
yeah.
Like,
It's good.
so she's already doing it. Like, my thing is just that it's gonna be easier also because she's, like, already reduced it,
Yeah,
and it's,
yeah.
she'll get there.
She'll get there.
It'll be a slow
It'll be
burn.
slower, and that's okay. I think, like, well, it's okay. It's okay. It's not okay. Whatever. I can't.
This is what my point is, though. You gotta be like, "It's okay. You'll get there."
It's okay. This
Be
is what I'm
encouraging.
admitting. Like as I grow up as a vegan, I'm
Yeah.
admitting it's like everyone's sounds so like
They're on their own
everyone's path
journey.
is
They're
a
on their own journey.
journey. I said journey the other day. I'm like journey. What the heck?
Right, yeah.
I get it. Look, we talk about my journey to
Yeah,
become a vegan. I am convicted. I am
yeah.
a hardcore vegan now, but I wasn't always.
No.
I was a pretty hardcore vegetarian too.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But were you
to
not a hardcore vegan just because you were anxious about it? Like, you didn't want to ostracize people, like, you didn't wanna be that person? So, like, you were quieter about it at first because you didn't want to.
I felt and still feel incredibly alone. Now, not so much with our family,
Yeah.
but I'm a super social dude.
Mhm.
I love my friends and I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
But I think I come across a certain way. I think I am quite confident. I think I'm fairly well spoken. I think I have a responsibility. I
Mhm.
think I have a responsibility to
Mhm.
try and go for it. Tat was like, "You're not, you're always trying to convert people." I'm not. I said it already. I'm not.
I would say you're not.
Thank you. Well, no. Thank you, but also, damn, that sucks. I
No, no,
should
no,
be. But
I don't think that. I just think you pick wisely.
I appreciate that. But I should go after everyone. Not everyone at the same time, but this is an attempt to do that. It's
Mhm.
an attempt to understand what's happening in other people's minds, what's happening in your mind, in my friends' minds, in to understand how they see me and how they see veganism through me.
Mhm.
Because in most cases, I'm the only vegan they know. Many people have told me I'm the only vegan they know, and I'm a guy.
Yeah.
It's like 8 out of 10 vegans in North America are women. So, we are a huge minority,
Yeah.
like a huge subset of a subset of a subset of a minority.
Yeah.
So, take 1% of the population, divide 80% of that, and there you got the amount of vegan
Yeah.
men. We are rare.
Yeah.
So
Well, my question to you is, how do you know you're better than everyone else? No, no, wait, wait.
sure.
Without shaming people. Because I think that that's the thing, you have to be so careful about
Yeah.
not triggering shame, and that's the whole point of my thing about, like, having grace and being like, "It's okay if
Do
you
you
make
think that
mistakes," and
there's
all
a
those things.
moment where shame does trigger change though?
I think
Or no?
sometimes, but I think initially it doesn't. I think initially it just makes people step back.
But initially, when I found out about eggs, I didn't become vegan. It took me 3 to 6
But
months.
yeah, but I think that my point being is just that it's one thing to learn about certain topics. It's another thing to talk to a vegan
Mhm.
like you, who's super confident and all these things, and you
I
talk
don't
about it and
normally
like,
say to people's face,
no, no,
"I'm
no,
better than
no, no,
you,"
but if
unless they ask me. Then I tell them.
but I think that
Yeah,
it's well, first of all, it's the label vegans have,
sure.
whether they say it or not. That
Yeah,
is it, and it's sometimes it's people's own shame too, right? Like they say it, they immediately feel shame
yeah,
because
yeah,
I think there's something in the back of their mind
yeah.
that kind of knows they're
Well,
not right. It's but I think it's just like you're triggering that shame. So
let
how do you do that? Like how
maybe
do you?
okay,
I
just
don't
to
know how you
maybe
would do that.
correct a bit about that. I think I'm better than people who are presented with the information and refuse to
Mhm.
change. If you haven't been presented with the information and the arguments and it hasn't been clear to you, then I'm not better than you. You simply don't know.
Yeah,
That's so I'm not better than ever. But if you know
yeah, and you're not doing
and
anything.
you're not doing anything about it, then I am better than you.
Yeah,
Because I was given enough information to trigger a change in my life and I did it.
yeah,
That's the only reason why. And also because, I'm
yeah,
kind of anti-killing. I'm kind
yeah.
of over it right now.
But people also,
Yeah.
like, see what you've gone through as being a vegan, and it doesn't necessarily make people wanna do it.
But
And,
that
like, I know
so
that
a
that's
big
weird, but
part
it's like it's a hard it's
you're
a
right,
you went
but
through a
but a
super hard transition to do this.
well,
Socially, not the
socially.
actual becoming a vegan.
Yeah.
There's a difference between
No, and I
becoming a vegan itself is not that hard. It's
well,
no, no, no,
yeah.
it really isn't. It's
Yeah.
the social
Yep.
isolation.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
that's the biggest part,
Yeah.
I think, for people.
The social isolation, the social cost is absolutely massive. It is huge. And if you're becoming a vegan in isolation, it can be debilitating. It is massive. It is massive.
It's literally like it's the social isolation, but then it's like, oh, like, okay, well, what do I do about going out to restaurants? What do I do about going and it's like
My whole restaurant
all of
life has
these
changed.
things.
Now it's better, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Becoming a vegan at home by yourself would be much easier for people. But the moment you're tying in the rest of the world, then it's hard.
for sure. Part of my goal here is to figure out and the business idea that I have attached to this
Mhm,
is to figure out how to make it easier to become vegan.
mhm,
More compelling,
mhm.
but also more fun
Yeah.
and more in group. Because I I don't know. I don't know what the solution I have an idea. I have a business plan
Yeah.
associated with this, but I don't know if I'm right, but I think it's worth testing because for us, we're only like 1, maybe 2% of the population. It's nothing. There's nothing. We got 12% of vegetarians or something like that. I don't know what it is globally, it's something like this. I like to go after vegetarians, but I also don't think we've captured all the the regos here.
N
We need to go after those people too. And there are people like myself and like people who become vegan overnight, like mom.
Yeah,
I didn't become vegan overnight, but mom did,
yeah,
who are presented with information. They are so shocked and so ashamed and mortified and horrified
mhm.
that they change.
But mom did that almost in privacy.
I get, yeah, that's fine though.
No, I'm not saying that I'm saying that, like, I think that I just think that when you're talking to a vegan
Yeah.
and it triggers your shame, there's a defensiveness,
Mm.
right? You become defensive
Maybe I don't know what the
versus mom doing it in private.
so one
It's
of
like
the
she can grapple with it all by
well, you
herself
have
and
to
whatever,
you
right?
you
Like,
have to do something voluntarily, no matter
yeah,
what. You can't make a change by force. I've tried to force people to be vegetarian, you know that. I've tried a bunch of times. I'm testing shit all the time.
mhm,
All the time. We talking to Tasia, and it's like, I paid Tasia to be vegetarian, right? Like, because for me, I'm like, "Well, this is harm reduction. Makes
yeah,
total sense. It's easy. This is
yeah,
easy. Cost me some money. Maybe she becomes vegetarian. Maybe she would." It didn't
yeah,
work at all. Did not work at all. I'm confident enough to admit I was wrong,
yeah.
completely wrong, right? I think I tried with Tat. I think I tried with you. I
You
tried
did
out
I think you did. Didn't we do isn't that how it started? It was a bet, didn't it, with me? We had a bet at
this
one
time.
point.
At one point, I don't think it was
We
this
oh, no,
time.
no, yeah, it wasn't we had a bet before,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
Yeah, because I
so it
was
was
just
just, like,
like, "Yo, if
between
they're not gonna do it voluntarily, I'm just gonna
yeah,
try and see if they'll do it for money or for some challenge or whatever,
yeah,
and if that works and it catches, great. It doesn't matter. I'm
yeah,
pragmatic. I don't care how you get there, really. If you can embed it in yourself, great." I was wrong. That didn't work. I don't know if there's a version of it that does work, but that didn't work.
yeah,
But my big thing right now, which circles back to what I was talking about earlier about why or when I'm asked why I'm vegan, is that humanity and human beings, we're all about love.
mm,
I actually think we have something massive on our side, and that is we care like crazy.
mm,
Our depth and capacity for love is huge. It's why we love each other as family members.
yeah,
It's why we love friends. It's why we love people. It's why we hate suffering. It's why when the world is in absolute chaos, people are distraught. It's because they care for people. They care for people that they don't even know.
yeah,
And they care for animals and they love animals.
mm,
And so I think that as a vegan, most of the time, I felt like we're on our back foot. We are not prepared. We have such an uphill battle because we've got the meat lobby and we've got the dairy lobby and we've got all these things against us and these massive forces. And people love meat and meat is good and it's tasty and it's salty and it's fatty and it's excellent and all this stuff. Great. But we are creatures of community, which means we are creatures of love. In my opinion,
yeah,
that's what it comes down to. Veganism is love. It sounds super hippy dippy, but effectively that is it. When you can extend your care past simply your own species to the other species that we share this planet
yeah,
with, you got veganism right there. And so it is one of our greatest strengths. I wanna capitalize on that. I want to, instead of calling people and saying, you're doing wrong, shame, 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 what are you doing?"
mm,
I wanna call them out and say, "Where is the highest version of yourself? What is the part of you that actually" like, I wanna call out the best version of themselves,
mm,
the version of themselves that would make them drive 5 hours to go see their mother or their cousin
yeah,
or their sister or their friend or their coworker or whatever. The person that would go out of their way no matter what or lay down their life or their time or their energy for their friend or their cat or their dog, the things that we would do for these people or these animals or these whatever beings is huge.
yeah,
We have that on our side. We have that on our side. We're like that. I know we're all like that because no matter what, no matter who's listening to this or ever gets a chance to listen to this, they have someone that they love. Not just someone, probably many people. Their mom, their dad,
yeah,
their sister, their son, their child. Like, we love love. We are we are creatures of community. And so how do we capitalize on this? How do I make it about the better things, the good things? Because you're right, people will not do it because of shame. We may get to 3% of the population, which is my first goal. We get to 3% of the global population of veganism because of shame,
mhm,
because there's a certain degree of people that will change on a dime
mhm,
because they see something that they are ashamed of, that they're ashamed of being a part of, and they want to change as a result. But we're not gonna get to 10% or 20% or 40% or 100% of the population by doing that. You cannot force someone to change because they're doing something wrong. you have to call out that they can do something right, and it's more in alignment with what they wanna do.
Yeah. But I also think that there's a lot more people that it's gonna be completely them. Like, that I think that there's, like, such a I don't want like, so many people are against change, and that it is gonna take them to be like them looking in the mirror and be like, "This is not the person I wanna be."
For sure.
Right? And
But
that's a
so
really hard thing to do.
it is, for some.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying, it's for those people, and I think that there are quite a lot of people like
I think there are. I think that initially, when we think about massive societal movements, changes,
that. Mm,
anti-racism, feminism, like, big anti-slavery, big movements. We've got our early adopters. We're in this phase. We're in the infancy
mhm,
phase of veganism. Getting up to, like, 10, 20% of the population is all you need to do. Honestly, it's all you need to do, in my opinion. I don't know. This is a theory. I can't, but at a certain point, momentum will carry it through.
yeah,
And guilt, not shame, but guilt of not joining a movement that's associated with such positive outcomes for
yeah,
everything, environment, like, human justice,
yeah,
I cruelty to other animals, just justice in general. There's so many reasons to be vegan, so many reasons to be vegan. But as I say, you only need one. But if we capture that
mhm,
20%, even 10% maybe, there's like 12% vegetarian, like, of vegans, if 10% of the population, global population was vegan, nuts. 10%,
yeah.
one out of every, like, that would be nuts.
I think that, like, I almost feel like sometimes I don't know, maybe I'm completely off base with this. I actually think that vegans are underestimating how many people actually are aware of why they should be vegan.
You think a lot of people know?
I think a lot of people know. I
Yeah.
think they just don't want to, but they also, like I think that part of the reason I say that is just because I think the strategy used by a lot of vegans who are more vocal, is to basically throw that exact thing in their face.
Mm,
They already know that. You can throw disgusting stuff at them and be like, "Oh," like, I think they know they're choosing not to pay attention to it,
yeah,
but I think all you're doing is being like, they already kinda know that this is wrong, they're just not gonna be like they're like, "Ah, everyone's doing it, it's fine." But I think that
yeah.
that's where I think that's my point, I guess, about the shame thing. It's like you're just triggering a shame piece that most people probably already kind of have a little bit in their subconscious.
I
They're just like,
think so, but I don't think that people commit a lot of mental energy to it.
"No, probably not," but that's why
So,
I think there's like a
I think they
subconscious
kind of are
aspect
like,
of it.
"Yeah, vegans don't believe in eating animals." Like, I think that's maybe the extent of it. I don't know how much people spend or how much time people spend committing to thought around why we don't eat animals.
No, I don't think I'm not saying that. I think that
Yeah.
I just think that like, they know why it is. They're not
Yeah.
necessarily spending time thinking about it or whatever. I think that it's like, when they hear someone being a vegan, I think that they already know why. Like,
Yeah,
and they know what the
I agree.
reason is for most people. I think
I
my
don't
point
know.
is that I think that my point is more about the fact that when I look at certain I don't have social media anymore, but, like, when
Yeah.
I had social media, when I would come across those vegan accounts where they were just, like, throwing, blood and stuff in your face, I don't think you're not gonna win people over that way, in my opinion.
Well,
You're not like, because
you might
you're
not win over most people.
yeah, but I think but, like, that's what people are seeing, right? And it first of all doesn't really give vegans a super good look, to be honest with you, in my opinion,
Yeah.
but it also you're I think you're hurting others. Like, you're hurting the population of the people who actually would, if you were to show them more on the compassionate side of things, would be more inclined.
How do you do that without showing the cruelty?
I don't know. I think but there must be a way. There has to be a way. I just don't know what it is, but I think that there has to be a
To show that
way.
vegans are better. They're on the right side of history.
I mean, yes, but
How
how
do
do you do that without being like without the holier than thou attitude,
we
right?
well, that's where my idea comes in, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Right.
want a massive social initiative that shows veganism in a positive light,
Yeah,
not in a negative light, not in those people because we have a big PR issue. Like, we like, the image of veganism is not ideal,
yeah.
and so we gotta fix that. And I want the term vegan. I want it. I don't want to change.
Yeah, no, and I
Um,
don't think that's needed. I think it's more just like how do you present information without triggering all of that, without triggering
yeah,
the negativity around it.
it's a fine
But
line
I
to
think
walk.
it's like, rather than the intense screaming kind of attitude about it, it's like how do you present those things more factually while saying like there is another way and it's not as hard as people feel like it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like and I think that it's, how do you explain the concept of the fact that like
yeah.
yeah, every time a cow is, cow gets milked, it's because that baby was taken away and it was taken away to go make veal. Like, like how do you explain that in a way that is I'm just explaining this to you as a factual piece of information.
I think though it's important to trigger emotions. Like, I watched Dominion 3 times before I became vegan, and I don't like that, and I've said that before on this, but it stayed with me.
Mhm.
It stayed with me, and it kept me, well, as I was transitioning to vegan, it carried me through it.
Yeah.
Now I'm done, like, I know I'm locked in. I'm
Yeah.
locked in, like, there's no, I can't say never,
Yeah.
but I am vegan for life to the best of my ability. I mean, our grandmother, who, is a longtime vegetarian,
Mhm.
Nana, but she ate meat at the end of her life when she had Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
forgetting she was a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But other than that, short of this or something crazy, uh, where practical and possible, I'm vegan.
Mhm.
And, um, let me tell you a bit about something that just happened the other day, which gave me a lot of hope, because I do believe we're compassionate beings, like, really, really we are. And, I was driving down the highway with my colleague, and I saw a truck with, like, I knew it was a livestock truck,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, there's something in there. There's cows or pigs or something." And she's like, "No, no, is there?" And I was like, "No, no, for sure there is, for sure there is." And so, I'm a bit cheeky,
Mhm.
and, so I accelerated like crazy and then just, like, hovered with it, right? Like,
Mhm.
drove,
Yeah.
um,
Beside it.
right beside it. And when I did that, there's, like,
Yeah,
the yeah,
the
the
whole side
holes,
beside, yeah.
and, there was a pig that kinda, like, put its snout out and was, like, trying to get air and didn't look, and, there's all these things that, like, they do before, like,
Yeah.
there is a slaughterhouse in the north of Toronto, which is where that was heading to. I know because I follow an account that specifically protests that slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
There's an area in Toronto called Hogtown or whatever, right? Or something like that, and where they used to slaughter the pigs. And, anyways, so as we're next to it, the pig is, like, going, like, kind of, like, licking air and trying to, like, kind of gasp for air. And, of course, when I see it, like, this is upsetting to me, but I'm vegan, so I'm like, "This is the world we live in." Like, the
Yeah.
world is so cruel. Every turn, I think the world is so cruel. It
Mhm.
breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Watching Dominion, I'm crying watching
Mhm.
Dominion alone in my basement, and and I think that's really great. Like, not
Mhm.
great good, but just, like, that's the response you should have.
Yeah.
Anyways, my colleague, like, looks for a second or for a couple seconds, felt like infinite time, honestly, because then she turns to me and she's crying, and I'm like, "Ooh." First of all, I'll get myself in trouble from an employer standpoint, so
Yeah.
that maybe, but
Yeah.
she knows I'm a hardcore vegan, and, broke my heart. It broke my heart to see how sad she was, but it also gives me so much hope,
Mhm.
like, that's who we are. That's who we are
Yeah.
as human beings. Like, we are not the selfish, greedy version people paint us
Mhm.
to be. We are not. I
But
do
just
make
think of that video that moment
Yeah.
was what she needed to feel something. And I know that might not make a change immediately or
I
whatever, but I'm saying that, like, you don't necessarily need to show slaughterhouse videos to
no,
get people.
no,
You can show those videos of, like, a cow being taken away from their baby and the baby running after the truck. Like, those moments are so sad. Like, you don't necessarily need to show the gruesome, disgusting part of it
yeah,
to trigger people's humanity.
yeah, you're right. No, but I mean, I guess that's what I kinda learned in that moment. I'm not sure what I expected.
Mhm.
I just wanted in that moment, I just wanted to show her there were animals in there.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was apologizing to her, like, "I'm sorry, I didn't expect, like, I didn't expect this. I did
Yeah.
not I've never seen that before.
Mm.
I've never seen look, it's not my first time that on a highway I've pointed out
Driving
to
past,
people
yeah.
that well, for me driving past them, it drives me nuts. Sometimes as vegans, I'm sure you have visions of driving those trucks off the road and
Yeah.
like, geez, in my dreams, I'd wanna do more than that, honestly.
Mm,
It's, um, but it was empowering to see. It
mm.
was it was
It
hopeful.
reminds you that non-vegans are still humans, and they still have those
This
feelings,
this is
and
the
that's what it
part
is.
I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
you get
not cruel. They're
they're
not people
not
aren't cruel.
cruel.
They are just living in intentional
And,
ignorance.
think about exactly, and think about all the non-vegans that I love so much.
Mhm,
Like, it's and it's funny because you say I'm only halfway there, but yet I'm talking to you like you are one of me, which, to be fair, I actually think you're pretty close. And I'm not saying that, like, you're gonna be vegan tomorrow, but I think you see the world through my eyes more than other people do. And th they're not cruel. I was one of them.
mhm.
You were one of them. I need to figure out how we bridge that gap faster and how we don't forget because I forgot. I forgot a year ago. I forgot. You think it's hopeless. You walk around the grocery store, you go and maybe that's why I don't like grocery shopping anymore. I don't know. I don't like going grocery shopping. I do not prioritize. I used to love it. It was one of my favorite
You should
activities.
walk around with slaughterhouse stickers up.
If people do that, yeah. Yeah. But,
But yeah,
yeah, no. And maybe maybe that's why I don't know. And anyways, it gives me hope.
I'm kind of glad that you saw that because I do think that that's where I guess my attitude comes
I'm
for
glad it
for the whole concept of the fact that, like, vegans do feel like they're better than everyone else, and I'm not saying that you're not. My point is more is remembering that most people
are good.
are good. I
That's what I'm
it's
saying, Shara.
there and that's my thing, I think, is the whole concept of people wanna feel like they're good, and if admitting that they're not, they're basically admitting they're not,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody wants to feel like they have done harm and that they have hurt animals or whatever, like, no one wants to feel that way,
Yeah.
and you talking about, like, you used to be that person, do you
I
feel
was.
good about the fact that you were that person before? No one wants to feel that, and to become a vegan, to become a vegetarian even, you have to be like, "Oh, okay, I was that. It's okay that I was that." And I have to accept that that was maybe wrong that I did that at first,
Mhm.
and that that's who I was, but now I'm gonna make a change and be different, and I'm gonna be better. But that's a conscious choice you have to make, and you have to admit that you're not better right now. And that it's a hard thing to do, like, you're like, that's a whole that's the part of being human that is really hard.
Do you think just closing on this, first of all, that broke my heart. Like, it stuck with me. It's gonna be something that sticks with me for
Mhm,
maybe ever, honestly. Um, I've never seen such an immediate response.
mm.
Um, do you think that veganism is the natural progression for humanity?
I think it should be.
It's a good answer.
I don't know that it is, but I think it should
Well, we're gonna make it.
be. Alright.
Well, we're gonna try. Why wouldn't we try?
Well, first of all, I will say that someone could start that, I think it's you. So, you're an exceptionally passionate person, and you're very convincing, so you care deeply.
That was Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I do mean it.
That's nuts, Char.
You care deeply, Christian. You care very, very deeply.
Yeah.
Not just about the animals, but about everyone.
That's the problem. I feel like I was yeah, but wow. Wow. I don't know if you've ever given me a compliment quite so significant.
You mean when I called you so slim this morning?
You did call me slim. You did call me slim. Hey,
How dare you?
I appreciated that. And I'm going lower. Um, thank you, Shar. That was really kind. This is hopefully the start of my efforts. I'm sure we are into this time-wise, but do you have any other questions or thoughts? I mean, we can always come back, do a round 3.
Round 3 first.
Hopefully, the audio is good on this one, and I'm sure it is, but, do you have any other questions or thoughts? I didn't even get into some of the questions that I chatted with Tasia and Tad about, but,
Yeah, it's funny because we started talking about the tradition stuff, we never really got anywhere.
yeah,
Nah,
I didn't get
nah.
we didn't circle back. I mean, we can circle back to it if you want, but, I don't I mean, you've given me, like it's been a good conversation, but you've given me part of those answers anyways, because as an ethical vegan like, as an ethical vegetarian, I know your stance. I was an ethical vegetarian for 4 years,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying I don't I'm not saying it's not
yeah,
important to explore, I just mean it explains that, first of all, you can adapt some of these traditions and that you don't lose, like,
yeah,
the family part, you don't lose the community
yeah.
part, you don't lose
Like, I
those.
get communities hugely focused around food. It is
It
hugely
is.
focused around food.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, as someone for me, like, who has spent a lot of time now experimenting with baking,
Yeah.
you just gotta put the time in.
Well, you're an amazing bakist. Yes.
But no, you just
Truly
but it
amazing.
it is just a
Gluten-free, vegan stuff, exceptional.
thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's about putting in the time and caring enough, I think
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of those things that we eat traditionally and whatever, you just gotta put in the time. You can
Yeah.
make something just as amazing and it just becomes the new tradition,
Yeah, you're right.
but you gotta be
Here
open to it, right? That's
yeah. Here okay, maybe here's another question,
mm.
just to kinda because it was a similar question I asked Tat and Tasia, which is how has or maybe I'll reframe it a little bit. If you could change our family dynamic when it comes to or composition, vegetarian, vegan, would you now? Would you go back
What do you mean by that?
to
Like,
being normal?
no, I mean, I can't really see myself ever doing that. But, I mean, it's where, I think my hesitation will be pretty prolonged with the next step.
But
But
you want to take the next step?
I would say that I know I should,
Mm.
but there's a reason why I won't say that I can.
Here.
Yeah. I
Fair.
because I don't
You're good, Shara.
know that I can,
Yeah.
but I know I should.
Did you read, Vegan Propaganda?
Do not.
Yeah.
I choose ignorance for a reason, Christian,
Mm.
sometimes. Have it. It's in my bookshelf.
Or the one that I gave dad, which is why we wear cows,
Oh, yeah. Where
eat
cows, pigs,
pigs,
and
love dogs,
yeah, something like that.
Introduction to Carnism.
Yeah.
One of the best books, that one. But, yeah, um,
But would I change the composition of our whole family? Is that what you're asking?
no, I
Like,
just
as an
meant I
external
kinda meant more, would you go back? Would you go back to being normal if you could? Because sometimes I had a moment just the other day that I was just like,
well,
I wish
Christian, though,
I
like
not like I wish I could not be vegan. I
mm,
just wish I could be normal again. I
mm.
wish I could go to a restaurant and order whatever I want. I
Let me
wish I
tell you
could.
something, Christian.
Yeah.
You have never been
Thanks. Maybe.
no, but, like, you but no, but I think that no matter what, you've always been passionate about something.
Mm.
Now, vegan for sure has been, like, a big one for you, and it's got more of a movement around it, if you will, but you're a passionate dude.
I am. I am a passionate dude.
You've never really been normal.
Well, I am gonna take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. It is a
Yeah.
compliment because there isn't going back to normal for you. I think my point is that you will always find something that you are gonna be extremely passionate about,
Yeah.
that you wanna fight for,
Yeah.
that you wanna debate, you've always been this person.
Yeah.
This is just something that you care exceptionally deeply about.
Well, it's a massive injustice. And at one point last year, I had a thought when I was in Edmonton, maybe I think, and I was in a hotel room and I thought, you know, I feel, of course, like I'm still young.
You are
Yeah, I
how
am young.
dare you?
No, I am young,
As
but
someone exceptionally close to your
yeah,
age.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm young. We are
We
young.
are young.
We are young. I feel like I spent so much time chasing money, in my 20s.
Mm,
And then I started thinking more about like legacy. Not for selfish purposes, but also, well, legacy, I guess, inherently is for selfish purposes. So maybe that's contradictory. But like what change you can impact.
mm,
And I thought at one point after watching something like where you hear it, like it's like 80 billion land animals or something crazy like that, right? Like 10 times the human population
mm,
that we kill a year. If there was any injustice worth going after, I think it's this one.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I think that's what I mean, I guess, the fact that you're not normal. I think that you see injustice and you're passionate.
We are passionate people. You are also passionate. You are an ethical vegetarian,
I am
as you say.
just quieter.
For now. For now.
Okay.
Um, seems like a good place to end off for now. Eh?
Sure. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts? Closing?
I think that's gonna be your biggest challenge.
I like a good challenge, Shara.
Mm.
I like a good challenge, so I will try my best. But yeah, I think you are right. I think you're right. Tasia's in my
I hope
targets
you
now.
succeed with the whole family.
Thank you. I can
I'll
count on
help you. I'll help you
I
with
can
Tasia.
I can count on your support then?
You can count on my support. I'll try to help you with Tasia.
That's excellent.
That's
That's
the
excellent.
second.
Thank you. Thank you, Shara. Appreciate you coming on again, and we'll
Of
do it
course.
again.
Sounds good.
Okay. That's it.